Alright, what's going on everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to upgrade the Allied Fires Challenger deck on a budget. We will not exceed the deck's retail price with our upgrades, which is absolutely a major problem because oh my god, we need Teferi in this deck and it's too expensive. This is a thorn in my side, we'll talk about it a little bit later. So the first thing we need to accept when it comes to playing and upgrading this deck is this is not really a tier 1 competitive deck anymore. Now don't get me wrong, Jeskai Fires is actually one of the best decks in standard at the moment, or you know, it's consistently one of the top decks. It might not be the absolute best right this second, but generally speaking, it's been a top tier competitive deck since the last few months. But the problem is the tier 1 deck is a completely different deck. It forgoes all of the planeswalkers and Allied Fires in favor of Cavaliers, who absolutely wreck face, especially when they're getting haste from Kenrith. And Cavalier Flames also just gives itself haste and all of your other creatures haste. So the point is, different deck. Doesn't play any planeswalkers except for Teferi. And it's all about Cavaliers. It has Sphinx of Foresight, Bone Crusher Giant, Brazen Borrowers. It's much more creature centric, whereas this one is more focused on planeswalkers. And the problem is these Cavaliers are expensive. If we bought a playset of each, it would be about $32, which is our budget for all of our upgrades. Plus we would need more Kenrith, we would need Brazen Borrowers, and well, the thorn in my side, Teferi. We would also need Teferi, the bane of my existence, at least for this video. So it's not worth it to go into that, or if you do want to go into that, if you want to see what a current competitive Jeskai Fires deck looks like, check the description below. I'll leave some links or something. Bug me about it if you don't see it because I might forget, but suffice it to say, you basically have to buy an entirely different deck, but you know, you can check it out if you want. So that brings us back to this deck, Allied Fires. If we fully upgrade it, it'll probably be fine at Friday Night Magic, but it's important to know that you are playing with like a tier 2, tier 3, that you're not playing with a top tier competitive deck. But with that said, as far as a Jeskai Super Friends deck goes, this deck is very close to being done. Well, sort of. I mean, look, on the left is Allied Fires. This is the deck you get out of the box, and on the right is the most recent top 8 finisher with Jeskai Super Friends in a major tournament. Ignore the fact that that was probably months ago, because it was, but you'll notice that you basically have the deck. It's very close, except that one card, Teferi. Teferi, you're ruining my life. Why? Look, Teferi is a $15 card at the moment, meaning our full playset is going to run about $60. That's double our budget for one card. But also it's basically the only card we need to finish the deck. I mean, sure, look, I'll give you a few smaller upgrades, fine. Look, here we go. You could take out the time wipes and replace them with Shatter the Sky. This is definitely an upgrade. I mean, sure, we don't get to save one of our creatures. The benefit of time wipe is it can pull a Kenrith off the battlefield, then blow stuff up, and then you can replay Kenrith. Without question, that's really nice, but that situation doesn't happen too often, and just having a cheaper board sweeper is pretty good. So yeah, 4 mana board sweeper, it's nice. We can actually also add Dream Trawler to this list. Dream Trawler is one of the most powerful creatures in standard at the moment, and they're only like $1.50 each. So I mean, you could totally go down a Kasmina and an Omen of the Seas for 2 Dream Trawlers, and you would be fine. I mean, most of these decks only play 2 Omen of the Seas. This deck came with 4, so cutting one is fine. You could even cut 2. You could cut 2 Omens for 2 Dream Trawlers and probably be fine. So yeah, Kasmina is great, but Dream Trawler will wreck face, and the Omens aren't played in the deck at this number anyway, so that's fine. But what we really need is... No, look, let's look at the mana base. The deck comes with a lot of gain lands, and these are fine for aggro matchups, but swapping these with temples makes a lot more sense because this deck loves to filter. This deck really needs to filter through its cards and draw very specific pieces. If you play this deck, you know how many times you've been like trying to find a board sweeper or trying to find a specific planeswalker. That's very important for this deck, so all the scrying possible is preferable. So yeah, temples over gain lands makes a lot more sense. And that brings us to the final upgrade. We do have Teferi. No, get out of here, Teferi. I've had it with you. Let's move to the sideboard. The sideboard in this deck is basically done. I know I've been saying that a lot in these videos, but it's actually probably the most up-to-date sideboard out of all the challenger decks. I mean, literally, this is what the sideboard looks for the competitive decks, with one exception, and that's Thirst for Meaning, which isn't typically played in these decks at all. I mean, maybe from time to time, but it's not very popular. And this card, you know, it's okay. You can Fae of Wishes, grab one of these, and then draw 3 cards, but I mean, is that really what you want to use Fae of Wishes for? And there aren't that many matchups where you really need to bring this in, so I don't think it's 100% necessary. So we're going to replace these with 3 utility spells for Fae of Wishes. Fae of Wishes is great at being able to just grab stuff from your sideboard in game 1, so you get to play sideboard cards in game 1. So let's get some good sideboard cards that can wreck face against specific decks, and the first of which is going to be the Elder Spell. We literally cannot cast this, so you're never going to add this in after game 1. You're not going to go to sideboarding after game 1 and grab Elder Spell ever. You don't do that. This is in your sideboard specifically when you can wish for it while you have Fires of Invention. So you can wish, grab Elder Spell, cast the Elder Spell for free, and you can blow up all of your opponent's planeswalkers. This is great for the mirror match. If someone else is playing this deck out of the box and they haven't upgraded it, this is going to be pretty brutal. You're going to just destroy everything. And you get to add 2 loyalty counters to one of your own planeswalkers. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good card. It's very specific, but that's what sideboards are for, and that's what Fae of Wishes is for. Fae of Wishes is all about getting a very specific card that doesn't do much, you know, overall in every matchup, but will absolutely destroy a specific deck, and that's what Elder Spell will do. And so then I want to take out the second Thirst for Meaning for Teo the Shield Mage. I know this is really weird, and this card is very underappreciated, but it's actually very useful against things like Rakdos Sacrifice and Temur Reclamation. The only thing we care about is that it gives us hexproof. So against Rakdos, they can't target us with their 2 best spells, that being Mayhem Devil and Priestess of Forgotten Gods. That's right, they can't actually target us with the Priestess. And the Mayhem Devil has to dedicate damage to Teo first before they can start targeting us. So that's pretty good against that deck. And Teo's a white card, so you can actually just sideboard him in. You don't actually need to wait for Fae of Wishes. And the final Thirst for Meaning is going to be upgraded into Chandra Awakened Inferno. So she has a lot of versatility. First off, she can win the game against slow decks like Blue-White Control. The plus ability gives the opponent an emblem that deals 1 damage to them every turn. And they can have any number of those emblems. So you give them an emblem every single turn, and then they take more and more and more damage every turn. So that's great against decks that are trying to lock you out of the game. Like if a Blue-White Control deck is doing nothing but just trying to blow up permanents and stall forever, if they start getting these emblems, that forces them to have to win as soon as possible, and a lot of times they just can't because they have to spend the entire game controlling your board and digging for spells, and they don't have time if Chandra is giving them these emblems. So it's great for that matchup. You could also minus to deal 3 damage to all non-elementals. So it's a mini board wipe if you're getting overrun by like mono red aggro, for example, or any deck that's putting out tokens, whatever. You can either sideboard this in, or you can Fae of Wishes, grab it, play it with Fires of Invention as your second spell, and wipe the board. And then you can minus X to deal X damage. So if there's a big creature beating you down, yeah, just minus X, blow it up, totally fine. So yeah, that's it. That's all of our... No, Teferi, go away. Okay, fine. Look, Teferi is great. He's really good, okay? You play him, you minus, you bounce a threat, you draw a card. It's always played in this deck, every single time. There's never a time when you don't want Teferi. As someone who plays Simic Flash a lot, it also completely shuts down that deck, because you can't play stuff at instant speed. It's not fair. It makes me angry. My feelings aside, card's great, should be in this deck. Yeah, I don't know. If you have them, put them in. If you want to spend $60, yeah, Teferi is good. Good card. I'm just not counting this as an official upgrade because it technically breaks our budget. But seriously, that's it. This deck was surprisingly close to being done out of the box. WotC did a really great job with these this time around. I don't know if people have really talked about it, but like the decks were done. They were legitimately done. Every single deck was like 2 or 3 cards from being done. And like it's ruining my life because go on my channel right now and sort my videos by the most views, and you will see Challenger deck videos everywhere. Challenger deck videos and Planeswalker deck videos. And these are done. Like, what? What am I here for? I'm supposed to be upgrading these for you guys, and they're done. Watsy, why? Why you have to make good products? Why do these have to be so good? I feel so useless. But no, the deck's great. These decks have been really good. The only issue with this deck specifically is that the Jeskai Fires deck just changed a whole lot since they made it. This deck was good a few months ago, which was probably when they were making these decks, but the Jeskai Fires deck just has changed a whole lot. But regardless, yeah, that's it. That's the upgrade guide. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. I mean, just think about how good it would have been, like, if it had one. If it just had one, then not only would we need less of them to finish the deck, but they would probably be cheaper, right? Think about it. It's like, I think it's like $13.50 right now, right? So if they printed just one in the deck, like, I'm thinking, like, it would be like $8, right? $7 or $8 maybe. Like, we could spend $15 to $20 to get the other 2 or 3. Like, that'd be fine. All they had to do was print one. Just one. That's it. One in the deck would have made everything so much better.